Alright guys, we're making our debut with the GoPro today. We're heading down to the creek, do some bottle hunting and see what other treasures we can find. So let's get at it and see what happens. And here is a remnant of the mill. Looks like a piece of boiler. Definitely cast iron and old. I think this might be the firebox doors. It's very interesting. And here we got, we're down the creek a little ways. We got this big cast iron pipe. I think this used to be from the mill, an intake. And down at the end you can see there should be a little valve on the end, I think.
This thing?
I'm not sure. Oil filter. Yeah, there it is right there. I think unless it keeps going. No, there it is. There's the end of it right there. Very cool.
It's like made of brass, I think.
Oh.
Or copper or something, I don't know.
That's very interesting. Neil just found that in the creek. It looks like brass. Not sure what that's from, but pretty cool. Probably from the mill, I would imagine. Oh, here's an interesting thing. It looks like I don't know, some sort of set of clamps or something. Just up the creek here is where the old blacksmith dump is. There's horseshoes like you wouldn't believe. Last year Neil pulled out almost 100 of them. So let's go and see what we can find there. Here's the area where I call the 50s dump. On the bank here, all this stuff that you see has been washed down from the bank here. And if you look up, you see cobalt glass, bits of cobalt glass and stuff. I guess stuff was just dumped over the edge here, probably from the houses, and they probably just used this as a dump way back when. They've found a few things here. Nothing too special, but the older stuff is further downstream. Let's see what you can see here. Oh, we got a fruit jar lid. First of all, it's just a regular crown one. They're not too special. I have tons of those at home, so I don't really keep those. Let's see what else we can find here. And again, there's lots of stuff washed into the creek from the bank here as well. Yeah, look at all this weedy area. Tons of sunfish in here. Pretty much every time I come here, I'll find a few larger pike swimming through. Oh, that might have been one right there. Oh no, it's a smallmouth bass actually. Just saw him swim that way. They take off pretty quickly. We're coming up on a spot that is an old bypass. People used to walk to cut across from one part of the village to the other, going back to the 1800s. And up until it was the sort of a makeshift bridge up until a few years ago. And then nobody has kept it up ever since. And it's pretty much right about here. I have a photo from about the early 1900s that shows a man on a bridge right here, and that tree, that hemlock tree that you see there, is in the photo but is much smaller. And this is a slope that we were working at last year that we got quite a few liquor bottles out of. I'm pretty sure this was the dumping ground of the old hotel that burned in 1935. A lot of it's eroded down since last year, and the older stuff is more so to the bottom. So I don't know what, I don't know, we'll do a little scraping and see what comes out maybe. Wow, for a minute there I thought this was one of those old cone top beer cans, but it turns out to be a, looks like an antifreeze can. What we found out last year was this part of the dump area over top of the old stuff was from the old gas station or fuel or service center that replaced the location of the hotel, and found lots of old wiper blades and stuff like that, and stuff to do with gas station waste. That we'll see. We might have to go to the creek because there doesn't seem to be much here. Oh, look what Neil's found. Neil loves to collect those. Looks like it's not too, it looks like it's been in the water. It's kind of stained brown. Neil just noticed this little guy. It's one of those small case gins. I don't remember seeing this here before, and that's got quite a nice applied top. That's a beauty of a top there. And this thing looks intact. Sweet. All right, let's see what else we can find. Beauty, guys, look at that. It's got some nice bubbles in it, and there's nothing wrong with this at all. These smaller case gins are quite a neat find. Usually it's the larger ones that people find, but that's pretty awesome. Let's see what else we can find. Well, here's a pretty neat piece of bottle. It says crystal, probably something to do with spring water maybe, but it's a Kingston bottle. That's really too bad. That would have been a really cool bottle. I'll have to research and see what this one is. And now we're coming up into the area where the main old dump is, and the creek in this area is just full of debris, mostly broken stuff. I've been coming through here for quite a few years now and picking stuff, but you never know. Every year you hope exposes something new. And a lot of it's probably come down from the side, from the banks. Oh, that's broken. Oh, here's a little, I think it's a little bottle. Have to do this walking upstream instead because it muck up the water going down. I think it's just a piece of stone that was shaped like a bottle. Yep. Well, this might be an interesting, looks like a pickle jar. Don't know if it's newer or older. I think it's cracked. Yeah, it's not very old at all. Oh well, we'll put that one back for the crayfish. There's a lot of wood debris in here. It's not a very fast flowing creek. The dam upstream controls the flow coming out of the lake, so it never gets up enough energy to really stir up the sediment and gouge out any holes in the creek. There was a time a couple years ago, and that's when I discovered this creek. I worked for a water resources engineering company, and we were actually doing a study on this creek, and that's when I discovered it for the first time. And we had just had a 2 days straight where we had about 75 millimeters or 3 inches of rain. So that really got things going, and it created a few big holes in the creek, and I managed to find a few really nice finds at the bottom of a couple of spots that had been gouged out in the creek. But since then, there hasn't been too much high energy flows through here. It looks like I pulled out part of a, looks like part of a sled or an old, maybe like an old horse-drawn cutter or something like that. Definitely looks interesting. I've seen pieces of stuff like that before, but yeah, you can find everything in this creek. Well, look what Neil's found. Mr. Bone Collector himself. What do you got this time?
It's a cow jaw.
Yeah, the teeth, they tend to last longer. They don't rot away as quickly. Much stronger. You taking that home?
Mm-hmm.
No, we just pulled out another jawbone. Wonder if it matches the other one. Well, that's very interesting. This looks like one of those, it's cast iron. It's very heavy. It's got to be one of those, I can't remember what they're called, but they're like a steam, they're part of a steam setup. It's like, it holds steam inside of it. You see them on steam trains as well. And I'll bet this thing might have come from the mill or some other sort of setup, but it's heavy. It's cast iron, and it's yeah, it's solid. Well, here's a very cool, this would be the second one I found of these. Unfortunately, it's broken. But this is one of the older telephone insulators with the mold line over the dome, Canadian no embossing. Oh well, that's too bad. Maybe there's more in here, you never know. Oh, would you look at these? Oh, nice. Blackberries. Oh, so good. So good.